Okay, let's talk about something that pretty much all of us have wondered about at some point. It's one of sleep's biggest and most common dilemmas. And tonight, we're going to get you an answer. You know the one I'm talking about, right? That glass of water sitting right there on your nightstand. Is it helping you out, or is it secretly sabotaging your sleep? It seems so simple, but the real answer, well, it's a lot more complicated than you'd think. And really, this is the heart of the problem, isn't it? It's this constant tug of war. On one side, your body is begging for water to do its job, even while you're asleep. But on the other, the last thing any of us want is to be woken up. It's a balancing act we face every single night. All right, so first up, let's look at the pros. We're going to make the case for staying hydrated and explore some of these surprising and pretty powerful benefits of having a little water before you turn in. You see, your body doesn't just clock out for the night. Nope, it's hard at work repairing muscles, cleaning out toxins, and consolidating memories. And water is the fuel for all of that. It's what stops you from waking up with that awful dry mouth or a throbbing headache. It even helps regulate your core body temperature, which, and this is key, is absolutely essential for getting that deep, restorative sleep we all crave. And here's where it gets really interesting. It's tied to your mood. A 2014 study found this fascinating connection. When people who normally drink a lot of water cut back, they actually felt less calm and positive. But get this, when people who didn't drink much started hydrating more, their overall mood and satisfaction went up. So yeah, how you feel when that alarm goes off might have a lot to do with how hydrated you are. Okay, but does it matter if the water's warm or cold? Well, funny you should ask. Turns out there are benefits to both. Warm water can be super relaxing, and it's great for digestion, especially after a late meal. Cold water, on the other hand, might give your metabolism a tiny nudge, and it's fantastic for muscle repair if you had an evening workout. So really, there's no wrong answer here. It just comes down to what you prefer.
Okay, we've heard the good stuff, but now it's time to flip the coin and look at the dark side of that nighttime drink. This is the major risk, the number one reason people are so hesitant to drink water before bed. And this sleep-stealing villain actually has a name: nocturia. That's the official clinical term for waking up in the middle of the night because, well, you have to go to the bathroom. This is the single biggest problem we're trying to solve.
So what's the big deal about waking up? Well, it's actually a huge deal. Every single time you wake up, you're shattering your sleep cycle. You get yanked out of that precious deep and REM sleep. You know, the stages your body desperately needs to support your memory, your immune system, and even your heart health. It's not just an annoyance, it's a real health concern. So you might be wondering, okay, but how many times is too many times? Well, according to the urologists, if you find yourself getting up 3, maybe 4 times a night, that's definitely considered on the higher side and probably something you want to get a handle on. Now, let's get into some really fresh science on this. A 2024 study in Japan decided to put this to the test, head to head. They had one group drink about a cup of water, that's 280 milliliters, right before hitting the sack. The other group, the control group, drank nothing for 2 hours before bed. They wanted to see what would happen. And what they found is, well, it's a total paradox. It's kind of wild, actually. The group that drank water right before bed, they reported feeling better in the morning, less down, in a better mood. But, and you knew there was a but coming, their sleep trackers showed their sleep was way more broken up. They were more likely to experience nocturia. So think about that. They felt better, even though their sleep quality was objectively worse. Okay, so we've got benefits on one side and major risks on the other. How in the world do you get the good without the bad? Well, it all comes down to a strategy. It's about hydrating smarter, not harder. Look, the answer isn't to just stop drinking water in the evening. No way. It's about getting strategic with it. The experts actually have a cool name for this: chronohydration. It's just a fancy way of saying you need to time your drinking to work with your body's natural rhythms, not fight against them. And the best part? The strategy is super simple. Just 3 easy steps. First, and this is the big one, create a buffer zone. Stop drinking big glasses of anything at least 2 hours before you plan to go to sleep. Second, focus on sipping water consistently all day long. If you do that, you won't be desperately thirsty right before bed. And finally, the golden rule. Always, always make one last trip to the bathroom right before your head hits the pillow. And listen, this isn't just some random advice. It's coming straight from the experts. Dr. Michael Ingber, urologist, says that for people who really struggle with nocturia, that buffer zone might need to be even bigger, more like 3 hours. It's all about finding what works for your body. Want to take it to the next level? Here are a few more pro tips to really lock in that uninterrupted sleep. Try elevating your legs for a bit in the evening. It helps your body redistribute fluid. It probably goes without saying, but avoid things like caffeine and alcohol late in the day. Watch out for super salty snacks before bed, because they'll just make you thirsty. And finally, keeping your bedroom nice and cool means you'll sweat less and lose less fluid overnight.
So when you look at that glass of water on your nightstand now, you know it's not really a friend or a foe. It's a tool. And it's all about how and when you use it. By being a little strategic, you can absolutely get the hydration your body needs without giving up the solid sleep you deserve. So the only real question is, are you ready to find your perfect balance?